Welcome, everybody, to the Down to Business podcast. I'm Xander Kirby. David Waldy is with me, founder, CEO of Fierce Empathy Solutions. Is that right, David? Mm-hmm. David is a business consultant, life consultant, basically, in a nutshell. Is that fair to say?
Amongst other things.
Amongst many others. He is the new Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean 6.
I am, yeah. Johnny Depp called me the other day.
Johnny Depp gave it to him, boy.
He's like, man, I can't do this. Amber Heard was too much.
Dude, he's not going to see a penny of that money, is he? He deserves it, too. He is going to get paid, though. He's going to get a movie, and it's going to go big time. Like, how much money do you think Tom Cruise just made on Maverick?
Oh, my gosh. That was...
Did he co-produce it?
I don't know, but that movie ruined most movies for me for the foreseeable future.
Incredible.
It was so good.
Okay, so let's do this real quick. My wife and I are like that. Before kids, we saw a movie every week, if not every other week. Mm-hmm. Okay, big movie, like not like not the Grammys, Oscars, but loved movies, critical of movies, etc. Gosh darn it!
So you were seeing a bunch of movies.
My wife and I have seen, we get the Movie Pass thing. Do you remember when that came out? Mm-hmm. And it went bankrupt because everyone used it? That was us for sure. But for like 5 years, I've been moaning and groaning about how horrible movies had gotten. Like no character development, no plot development that tied in with the characters, random character thrown in at the end that wasn't even there to make it flashbang, boom, whatever. And dude, Maverick, when Tom Cruise gave that message at the beginning, I was like, I looked at my wife and said, this is going to be awesome. Tom Cruise, Chris, did you see it? Yeah. He had that little message where he's like, we loved making this movie and you're going to love it. And we hope you enjoy it. Like almost like savor, like when a chef.
Like, it's real G's, it's real people, you know.
He was like, it's like a chef who says, this is going to taste really good. And I was like, dude, this is going to be awesome. And it was fantastic.
It was.
Then I go see last night, I see Where the Crawdads Sing. Have you heard about that?
I have heard about that. I
I
thought you were going to say you saw the new Minions movie by yourself.
My daughter's in it right now.
Oh, really?
Sage and her grandma.
I love it.
Sage and her grandma are there right now. But I saw Where the Crawdads Sing. Mm-hmm. Oh, close to being as good.
Really?
Totally different. It's like a Nicholas Sparks-ish movie, but not. More
and
like
The Notebook is
Notebook's the best. Safe Haven's good too. But I could go on. You didn't know that about me? I love chick flicks, dude. Whatever.
So good.
Comment your favorite chick flick.
We don't care. We're secure and
super.
Fine.
7 years married coming up. David 9. Okay, with 16. Chris has got. We're almost at 20 in the room here.
There we go.
I don't know what that means. 2 decades.
We're still idiots. Is what it means.
Decade is the one I want to use. Decade makes it legit. We're still idiots. That's for sure. But dude, Maverick, super good.
So good.
Anyways, going into our part 2, as we talked about on the last episode, we're going to be talking about core values and on your operations side. And I'll be the first to say, I just got core. Anyone who doesn't know, I have a landscaping company that has done fairly well, and it is not a small operation. It has 21 full-time people. This is the 6th year in business. I just got core values. Okay, huge mistake. And here's why. I played baseball in college and played my whole life, did the whole travel ball, all of the things, okay, recruiting cycle. And all my life, I got these mantras from my coaches, my teams that were, each team had a different theme for the season or whatever. Yeah. And I just never felt like it was genuine. And so core values, this is what we're going to be about, all that stuff, right? Yeah. And so literally through college, we had like our things. Our thing at my college team was and be in the foxhole with your team, which is like a term for the military and who's fighting with you and stuff. And just never really believed it. I just couldn't get there. 1, because I was super selfish. 2, I don't know why exactly. So then I carried those same bad habits into my business. And end of last year, I meet my business mentor, Dan, and he goes, so what's your core values at Trifecta? I was like, I think it's corny. I was like, we never did them. He's like, do you know what core values really are? And I was like, I think I do. I was like, basically, the little sayings. He's like, no, it's way more than that. And so he literally had to flip my perspective on it. Yeah. So I'm going to say what I think it is now, and I kind of want you to take it away. But I thought it was sayings, mantras, tattoos for your business. This is what we're about. Mm-hmm. When Dan and I came to the conclusion that it's literally the filters that your business decisions are made through. Everything. We have 4 core values now at Trifecta. Don't need to name them off, but every time I make a decision now, I think through, does this fit my 4 core values?
Yeah.
Which, think of like a filter of water. It gets all the dirt out and then it has purity at the bottom. Yeah. That's the way I view it now. Yeah. When I'm hiring somebody, I go, do they fit our core values? Mm-hmm. When I'm making a purchase, does this meet our core values?
Yeah.
Do everything I do now, and it has been, I cannot tell you how refreshing it's been. Mm-hmm. It gives me this lens at which to see clearly my business. Does that make sense? Before, I thought I knew what it was or what it is or what it wanted to be. Mm-hmm. Had no clue.
Yeah.
This has solidified that. We actually have a huge printed out right outside our office, and our guys see it, and we talk about them a lot. Mm-hmm. So anyways, don't know if you'll agree with that. If not, slam me down.
No, I 100% agree. I think that was a great example.
And the reason why I wanted a part 2 on the operations one is I believe for a lot of business owners, core values is easier to understand than the SOPs and stuff. And it's great to build on SOPs. But you need to get core values first.
Yeah.
I don't know if first is the right word.
No, you do.
I won't say that.
You
okay.
do.
You tell me why. Tell me why.
Well, if we just strip this back to who we are as individuals, right? We all have core values, whether or not we recognize them. Yeah. And so, for many people, they might say, one of my core values is being a person of integrity, right? One of my core values is honesty, which kind of echoes the integrity sentiment. One of my core values is that I'm kind, or whatever it is, right? We all have this unspoken code for how we operate as individuals.
I agree with that.
When it comes to our businesses, the reason that it's so important to establish these from the beginning is exactly what you said, is that most businesses, they don't know who they are. They don't know what they're all about. And if you boil it down, the only reason that they're showing up day in and day out is because they're trying to make money, or they've envisioned this one bright morning that's going to come someday. They're hoping and praying that something's going to happen in their business that's going to change the game for them.
I want to hear you talk about that a little bit more as a side note, because I've never heard it put as like one bright morning. Mm-hmm. I talked to someone in my family one time, and we had an interesting conversation about that. Is basically they verbiaged it as, I was climbing this mountain my whole life that I thought I would reach the top of, and I realized it was never ending climb.
Yeah. We create what's called, I often refer to as a happiness gap.
Okay.
The danger with goals and vision is that if you are so focused on your goals and your vision, what it can do is it creates this gap between where you are and where you want to be. And most entrepreneurs, they unconsciously create this gap, not realizing that it's literally stripping them of the joy and happiness and fulfillment that's accessible to them right now, because they start to believe, until I get to this point, I can't be happy. Until I get to this point, I won't feel fulfilled.
And you never get there.
You'll never get there.
The puck keeps going down the ice.
Exactly.
Like,
so you have to be really careful. But the reason that these core values are so important, I like to say it this way. Some of the guys that I run with, we have this saying that is kind of a mantra, but it ties in perfectly with this is who I am. So this is what I do. Period. I don't negotiate these things. These are non-negotiables in my life. And when you can operate from that place, what's really interesting is that it actually helps you come to terms with where you're at, and it properly positions the dreams and goals and aspirations you have for the future business, but it doesn't steal you of the joy in the process.
But what if someone goes, this is who I am and this is not what I want to be doing?
That is the natural fallout, or fallout maybe is the wrong term. That is a natural occurrence when you start being honest and reflecting on who you are and what your business is. Because if you take a map and you want to go somewhere, let's just say you're trying to get to, the buried treasure, right? And I say, Alex, I've got the map to the buried treasure, and I give you the map. It will be absolutely useless to you unless you know exactly where you are on that map. If we don't come to terms with where we are now, and we can have honest reflection of ourselves and our businesses and our teams, and it's not for guilt or shame or regret or frustration or anger. It's just saying, no, this is really where we're at. Yeah. And if we can acknowledge this is where we're at, then we can actually finally align ourselves with the future vision version of that we want this business to be, who we want to be as leaders. But if you don't know where you are, you're never going to get there.
Right.
You're going to wake up every single day just desperately trying to survive and make it and get to whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Because most people, they have created this version of success that they either borrowed from their parents or influencers or
TV,
pressure, TV, Hollywood. Most people don't actually know what they want. And when you can get brutally honest with yourself by reflecting on your business and saying, okay, this is the business that I want to have. I'm not going to wait to create this one day. These core values will literally help you become that, but without you taking that honest reflection and saying, okay, these are the core values. This is how I make every purchase decision. This is how I make every hiring decision. This is how I make every firing decision, right?
Yep.
All of these decisions that we are trying to make, the reason we struggle with them is because we don't have this thing that we can look at and say, is this aligned? It's just, again, based on feelings. And on a journey, on an adventure, if you're going after something that if you're just going based on how you feel, there's going to be a whole lot of times where you do not feel like you want to keep moving forward.
I'll tell you that.
Unless you are aligned, unless you have that vision, but it's put in the right place. And that's where it starts with core values is this is who we are, period.
Yeah.
So this is what we do, period. Non-negotiable. And then you don't have to have this emotional attachment to if you are hiring somebody or if you are firing somebody.
Well, I'm desperate.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just based on this is who we are, so this is what we do.
I had a young man yesterday call for a job. He had called 3 days ago, and he said he called yesterday morning. He's supposed to be here at 9:30, 10 minutes before. Hey, my car died of gas. I need to walk there. Is that okay? And it would, sure, if that was actually the case, get down to it. He's been struggling with addiction. And I said, sir, you don't need a job. You need help. I said, can I help you get into a rehab facility?
Yeah.
And he kind of denied that, but being real with where you're at hurts today, but helps tomorrow. I actually had a little phrase pop through when you were talking about that. When you were talking about so many people look back and they're like, how did I get here type thing. I'm sure this is a quote, but I've never heard it and just popped in my head. It was, today is yesterday's tomorrow. And I think that's one of the hardest things with our generation, Gen Z, millennials, is they are we are so consumed by watching other people do things that we think we can, should, or want to be doing that we end up doing nothing because we're paralyzed by looking at everybody else and saying, I can't do that, or I wish I was there. And I challenge people to think, what can I do today to better my tomorrow? You know, I don't know. I'm not trying to be Mr. Sentimental or whatever that phrase is.
Getting all philosophical.
But I've been thinking about that a lot this year. I don't have a theme for every year, but seems like God kind of gives me a theme to focus on in my life. And this year has been what I've been calling a ripple effect mindset, meaning how does my decision on this ripple out to other things, and trying to, in the way I love people, in the way I talk to people, in the way I make business decisions, in the way I love my wife, everything. I didn't used to think that way. I just did it.
Yeah.
And then now I'm trying to think more of this decision's going to have these ripple effects. That's where it's been coming from.
Yeah.
And core values is a big part of that. Going back to the business side, personal too. I started having core values for my personal life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything with transparency, honesty, and authenticity. Those are my three big ones.
Yeah.
And with joy as much as possible.
Yeah.
So anyways, David, another good one, part 2 on our operations. Make sure you guys have core values. It takes no time. David was kind of hitting on this. Go back, write down what you want to be about, what you're about currently, and where you want your core values to take you, because that's where your heartbeat's at. Your core values need to reflect your heartbeat as the owner or the manager of the business. So, David, again, thank you. We'll see you next time on the Down to Business podcast with David Waldy and Xander Kirby. Thanks, guys. Hey, I told you that. They have the other... God, we had it...
This is going in the podcast, please.
What is their comparableness to Empire? They have one. Okay, are you still there? I told you my friend Matt works there. All right, bye. I told recording this morning. All right, where were we at, Chris? Can I go back? Can you play back where I was at or no? Crap. All right. So wait, we have to keep going?
Maverick was the ruined movies for me.
Oh, Maverick ruined movies for me. So, okay. All right, I gotta think. Can you edit the video though?
No, this goes straight online.
Shut up.
Just straight online.
Okay, you got it.
Just perfect. I mean, you're gonna have to have outtakes.
I'm cool. We did. We had a video. One of our TikToks or Reels did outtakes, and it had like 2,000 views or something. Because I like having fun, but a lot of my guys are too serious.